You've got to imagine a very brightly colored tent that is the size of a football field. In the middle of this thing, instead of having the 50-yard line and the end zones, you have 3 rings in which the players all play and do different tricks. It's a conglomerate of animals, clowns, acrobats that travels from town to town on trucks, trailers, and everything, generally entertaining the public from place to place.
Children of all ages, directing your attention to the lofty dome of the Big Top.
It appears on the doorstep before dawn, a familiar guest from the past, hauling a great canvas house in its bags. The annual pilgrimage of the traveling tented circus.
I'm going to quote Ernest Hemingway. He said that the circus is the only thing around, it's the only ageless thing that gives the impression of a truly happy dream.
The people that enjoy a circus are the same that would go to the ballet, would sit side by side with those that would go to the Saturday night wrestling match.
You've almost got to see it. You've got to smell it. You've got to hear it. You've got to experience it.
The circus is supposed to have the smells of the animals, the smells of the grease paint, the movement under the tent. That's all part of being a circus, and it's not a circus unless it's under a tent. And I don't care what anybody says, it's antiseptic when it's in a building. It's like going into a hospital and seeing a nurse in a white outfit and say, gee, that's nice and clean, but it's not really the real thing. You say Coke is a real thing, well then a circus in a tent is a real thing. That's part of American circus.
174 men, women, and children house themselves in small mobile homes for the duration of the circus season. Little quiet, almost no privacy, yet this is where the magic that is circus begins.
The traveling tented circus is a unique lifestyle. It's a city unto itself. You're either performing, putting up and down equipment, or traveling over the road. And when the 8 months is concluded of the tour, you have some pretty tired people. Yet, despite the nomadic experience that it is, you've got people you just simply don't want anything else, have never done anything else, and enjoy it. There's an old saying that if a circus person cuts a vein, blood doesn't come out, sawdust does. And it does get in your blood. It does become a part of you. And it's certainly got me.
A lot of people live for that applause. I mean, I guess we're all hams down to it. I get excited when I go in, and at the end of the show, the people join in the finale and start clapping their hands along with the show, and that's part of. I find myself doing the same thing, not because I'm an old show bum, but because it's part of life. It's circus. It's got to be in you. Anybody that out there tells you they're out there because they're getting paid is a liar, because nobody can pay you enough money to be out there. It's tough.
circus would probably be the most awful place in the world if you didn't want to be there. You have to want to be there, or you are miserable.
The acrobat, the juggler, the trapeze artist, the equestrian, the clown. Their artistry is the essence of circus, the oldest and most continually popular form of entertainment ever conceived by man. It emerged in ancient Egypt as early as 2500 BC, gained form and substance in 18th century England, took root in America in 1793. Eventually made popular by familiar names like Barnum and Bailey, Ringling Brothers, and Cole Brothers. The most famous of the great wild animal trainers, Clyde Beatty, combined his own circus with the Cole Brothers in 1950.
What you're seeing in performance is basically what you would have seen 100 years ago. Now, the importance of this is, remember when you're a little kid, how maybe in the kitchen doorway they had little marks how tall you were each year, and the circus is like that too. It's a milestone marker in people's lives.
It's like that last steam locomotive going by, and they're looking at something that their parents and their grandparents before them and their great-grandparents enjoyed, and it was a major event once a year in their life.
Over the years, the circus has faced a procession of potent rivals: theater, films, television, home video. But the allure of the big top circus has survived, an enduring reminder of a lost age of innocence.
John Ringling North, back in '57, said, when they closed the Ringling show, and that was simply because they couldn't move it. They said, this is the end of the American tented circus. Well, we've proved them wrong. In fact, I personally have proved them wrong a lot of times. I mean, a lot of people said, that's the end of this show. And I said, to heck it is. I said, you watch, I'm gonna get this thing out of the barn if it kills me. And the main thing is that you give them a good show and the public come. The people want to see part of Americana. When you look back, this is something that was here long before there was anything else.
Circus will never exactly die away because it's so ingrained in our culture, because there's always circus in movies, it's in paintings, it's in literature. Even if it actually ceased to exist as a physical entity, it would never cease to exist in our minds because it's part of our culture.
Henry Ringling North once wrote, "The circus is a jealous wench." Indeed, that is an understatement. She is a ravening hag who sucks your vitality as a vampire drinks blood, who kills the brightest stars in her crown, and who will allow no private life to those who serve her, wrecking their homes, their bodies, and destroying the happiness of their loved ones by her insatiable demands. things. She is all of these things, and yet I love her as I love nothing else on earth.